In the UK, the economy saw zero growth in the final 3 months of last year. That's according to the latest official statistics. GDP in the October to December period was the same as the previous quarter. Let's see how the markets are reading that data. And Juliana will tell us. Hello, Juliana. Good afternoon. No growth in 2019. How are the markets and investors interpreting this latest GDP numbers?
Good afternoon, Chimizzy. Well, deeply unexciting. That's the headline that's coming out of the Square Mile this afternoon after those pretty abysmal GDP figures wrapping up what was quite a tumultuous year for the UK. So flat growth, stagnant growth in Q4, those 3 months to December. In the previous 3 months, we had a 0.5% growth at the same period last year. So Q4 2018 growth was at about just above 1.4%. So there's definitely a massive decrease. The only difference is that we were dealing with political uncertainty, domestic crises, which was, of course, pushed by Brexit. So, to be honest, there are a lot of economists that weren't expecting anything better than this, really, which is why at intraday it hasn't really affected the equities and currencies market. The FTSE All-Share is up 0.71%. The FTSE 100 is up by 0.81%. And the FTSE 250 is up by 0.33%. In currencies, the pound is doing great, good, up on the US dollar by 0.10%, up on the euro by 0.02%, and up on the Japanese yen by 0.18%.
Now, if I may ask, Juliana, what is JD Sports' grouse over the Competition and Markets Authority's warning that the retailer's takeover of rival Footasylum could be blocked?
Well, it appears that it actually has been blocked, Chimizé, and JD Sports are furious. JD Sports are bucking the trend on the high street. Lots of brands going under, not performing well, but JD Sports are doing very, very well, especially our viewers in the UK. You only need to go past a bus stop or underground to see all these big celebrities promoting them. They bought Footasylum, which is a pretty small online and high street footwear brand. They don't sell as much as JD Sports, but they've definitely got about a 5% of the market share in the UK. They bought Footasylum last year for about £90 million. And as soon as that purchase was done, a lot of JD's competitors were straight into the Competition and Market Authority's offices saying that, you know, this is not great for competition. Why has JD been allowed to do that? There has been a 6-month review, and the CMA have said that less choice, fewer discounts and bad customer service. That's basically what this merger will mean. And they've given JD Sports about 3 months, 3 weeks to come up with some sort of response to the ruling, or they will have to sell their Footasylum to another competitor. So JD, of course, they're really not happy with this. They say that it's a healthy market, that all you need to do is type in Nike or Adidas on the UK Google and you can just see how many options there are for people to buy. So they don't think that this is breaking into any competition, especially because they say Footasylum only have a small share of the market. But the CMA have ruled, and a final decision will be made on the 11th of May this year.
And in another development, the government is set to approve the controversial HS2 rail project. Are more companies getting set to move out of London as well?
Well, not yet, Chimizé, because HS2, as you said, controversial, that's the key word there. If indeed it does get the go-ahead, which we're expecting any moment now from Boris Johnson, it won't be approved or finished till about 2040. And that's still an estimate. When HS2 High-Speed Rail 2 was first spoken of in 2010, which is 10 years ago now, it seems like yesterday, it was supposed to be a £30 billion project. It was Europe's most advanced infrastructure project to ever be seen, particularly when it comes to travel. But it's been grossly under budgeted. The time is taking way too long, and it will take several years to complete. But, you know, those who are not living in London feel that they do need a rebalancing of the economy. Everything is available in London, and all the big tech firms, a lot of the big business firms are headquartered here. cheaper. And if there is an opportunity to get to somewhere like Birmingham or Manchester in quick speed time, perhaps people will want to do that. So Boris Johnson, the Prime Minister, is expected to make a statement about that today, saying the plans are going ahead. And as you said, it is controversial because a lot of people think it's money not well spent. The estimated figures at the moment are it's going to cost over £100 billion. And some analysts say there is no way that the Conservative government will reap the rewards from putting that money in.
At the same time, I guess a lot of people are looking forward to that project to kickstart. Anyway, thank you for updating us on that. Enjoy the rest of the day, Juliana. And stocks in Asia Pacific saw gains on Tuesday as investors continued to weigh the economic impact of the ongoing coronavirus outbreak, which has already taken more than 1,000 lives. Hong Kong's Hang Seng Index led gains among major markets regionally as it surged 1.26%. Mainland Chinese stocks saw gains on the day, with the Shanghai Composite up 0.39% and the Shenzhen Component advancing 0.37%. The Shenzhen Composite rose marginally to approximately 1,758 points. South Korea's Kospi gained 1%. The S&P ASX 200 in Australia finished its trading day 0.61% higher. Markets in Japan were closed on Tuesday for a holiday. And in the U.S., stock index futures pointed to a higher open on Wall Street today as stocks look to continue Monday's rally. At around 2:30 a.m. Eastern Time, Dow futures were up 57 points, indicating a positive open of more than 70 points, while futures on the S&P 500 and Nasdaq were also higher. Investors continue to monitor news on the coronavirus outbreak after China's National Health Commission on Monday night said the death toll had risen to 1,016 people. Fourth quarter and full-year earnings remain in focus, with Hasbro and Under Armour among those reporting before the bell, while earnings for Lyft and Western Union are due after the close of trading. On the data front, January NFIB business optimism figures and JOLTS job openings for December are expected later today. And our prices rose more than 1% today in sympathy with a rally in equity markets, but investors remain jittery over the Wuhan virus that has now killed over 1,000 in China. Brent crude rose 1.3% to $53.97 a barrel, while U.S. West Texas Intermediate was up about 1.2% at $50.18 a barrel. Traders remain concerned that China's oil demand could take a further hit if the coronavirus cannot be contained. And after the break, we'll talk more on commodities market, but this time, domestic commodities market space. To stay with us.